The desire to have a home ground advantage when it comes to playoff rugby is a huge drive for these teams, and one of them will be pushing here tonight as the Celtic Dragons come into action against Clermont in round 11 of the GRC. Hello everyone and welcome back along to your home of rugby where we crack into another huge game of the Global Rugby Challenge or the Subscriber Series. Thank you everyone for joining me for this one between the Celtic Dragons and Clermont as the two teams push for some higher honours of different perspectives in tonight's matchup. As for the Celtic Dragons, they are sitting in those positions we talk about inside that top four in fourth position. They will be looking for a way to keep that alive and make sure they're playing at home when it comes to playoffs rugby. They've had a decent season so far too, with some big wins but also some pretty frustrating draws that have really stopped them fulfilling their true potential this season. They have been in decent form, impressive form some may say, in recent weeks, especially back around 10 where they took out that mid-table troublesome team, the Crusaders, 24-21, and before that it was the other French club involved in the competition, Toulouse, that went by the wayside 28 points to 14. Now they take on Clermont, a team in a similar predicament as the sides they've just beaten, and they are looking to make sure they stay inside that top four. Their team for tonight will be as follows, as always, starting in the front row: Regan Hall, Bosco Kita, Daniel at hooker, and Finley Moriarty will be on the tight head side of the front row. Caleb Cook and Adam Minnett-Jones will be the second row partnership, with Daniel Jenkins, the try-scoring hooker, moving to the back row. He'll partner Milton Simiu and Craig Anderson at 7 and 8. Payment Silver will come into the backline as scrum half, and Will Rogers will move from the wing to fly half. Steve Tickog's captains the team from inside centre, and his partner will be Derek McGregor. Callum Ewing will be on the left wing, with Scott Andrew on the right, and Ivan Minnett-Jones at fullback for the Dragons. Up against them will be Clermont. Now this is a team that has pretty much struggled their way through this season. They sit down in 10th, just a 3-win, 7-loss record so far, and they've suffered against the top subscriber sides. They went down in round 9, 18-7 to the Guardians of the Crib, and after that they fought back very well to take out the lowly Exeter Chiefs, 37 points to 19. Today they'll be looking for another big GRC upset here against the Dragons. They have a star-studded side as well. As we look through this team, you'll know a lot of these names, not only in French rugby, but international rugby as well. Their front row: Lonnie Uhila, John Ulagia, and Rahib Slamini at 1, 2, and 3. Sileki Tamani and Sebastian Vahamahina in the second row, with Pasiligato, Judicial Concure, and Fritz Lee in the back row. At scrum half, that's right, there's still no Morgan Parra, so it's Charlie Kasang that takes the 9 jumper, and alongside him is Camilla Lopez. In the midfield, it's a dangerous midfield partnership of Wesley Fofana and Damien Pinot. It is Ali Raka on the left wing, David Streeter on the right, and of course our side Tuialva at fullback for Clermont. It's been a tough season so far, but can they find that bright spark to finish in the last couple of rounds? So the two sides are out and ready for kickoff to tonight's matchup. The Celtic Dragons are in the blue and white. It is up against, well, Clermont in the yellow and blue. Similar colours here tonight, but no kick clashes here on the GRC as we get the game quickly underway. Clermont fielding the ball in, take the first breakdown. And it's here for Streeter, who's the first man playing scrum half. Vahami now through Tamani, and now they find room. Tani Raka, he's up against Alfred Minnett-Jones in the back, who is strong in defence and takes him down on the 10-metre line. Now it's there for Kassan going back to the big man Vahamina, and look at them combining beautifully at the moment. Clermont for Fritz Lee takes the ball to ground, and the Dragons fight over the top. Big defensive play to turn that over. Now it's Will Rogers, puts it to a boot and kicks it inside the 22. Here's Asai Tuialva, though, returns fire. Good positioning there from the former All Black. Now it is the Dragons centering the ball back to midfield as Payment Silver is running havoc through the middle of the park. Caleb Cook, a little pick and go from him, but he's found support from Tekog. Simiyu does nicely, getting it out there too. Callum Ewing, a big high kick. Ewing goes to the try line. This is a big chance for the Dragons. Oh, they're just a metre short. How do they even regather that? Brilliant work. Simiyu turns it to the left side. They go back to the right. Short passes. Try time, Dragons! Oh, brilliant start! That is what they would have wanted. Put the pressure firmly back on Clermont, and the first try of the match will go to the Dragons, and it is that try-scoring hooker playing in the back row, Daniel Jenkins, that gets the 5-pointer. Well, Steve Tekogs took the ball from Simiyu, took it to the left-hand side before thinking, we've got no chance down here. It was a great take from Derek McGregor, flying high off the Ewing kick. And then Ewing was looking for that little short side play, but it was turned back. Milton Simiyu involved a number of times early for the Dragons. And his ability to not only feed players outside him, but also link up and just offload that ball in the tackle to Daniel Jenkins. Brilliant start for the Dragons, and a conversion to boot as well from Will Rogers, who's been, again, nicely involved for the Dragons when he's got that number 10 jumper on his back. And he leads his side nicely from the front, kicking it territorially well, getting his team in the right places on the field. Here is Isaiah Tuiava getting us back underway. 7-0. Dragons lead early, and Payment Silver's hit high. Oh, that is a disaster of a tackle. Clermont could be in trouble. Streetel's coming over as captain of the team. It's a yellow card. Oh, a massive blow for Clermont. And they have lost a man to the bin. Huge, huge problem now. It's a kick to touch from Will Rogers, finds the line nicely. And now with a man advantage, a big chance to attack, as we are seeing nowhere near the line out here. I presume there's a line out taking place. 15 minutes in, we finally pan to the right areas, and now the Dragons, look at this, Callum Ewing, straight through the middle of the park. No one wanted to touch him. Terrible defence there from Clermont. Here is Daniel going to the right-hand side of Steve Tekogs, taking on the line. Very good distributor, but when he takes on the line like that, you've got to look out. Now here's a run for Regan Hall. Gets him up again over the advantage line. Quick ball, nicely away from Silver, and out wide it goes to Scott Andrew. Shows the dummy, goes past Tuiava, and Scott Andrew has the second try. Man advantage, they make it pay the Dragons, but some brilliant work from Scott Andrew, finding the space and then finding a brilliant dummy to leave Tuiava in his dust. Well, it's Payman Silver with the quick ball out of the ruck, and it just shows him that inside shoulder, lets him go by. Had the support play, Tuiava in two minds. Needed to commit one way or the other, and look who was there. It was Silver, the man that kick-started it all, getting that ball out of the ruck very quickly, and that was the key. Also, Tekogs right there on hand. But Scott Andrew, the man who has had an indifferent season with the Dragons, is coming up good now when it really matters. Great try on the right wing. And now a chance to double that lead with the conversion. Here is Will Rogers from the right-hand edge. And a great conversion to boot with a great try. It is 14 points to 0. The Celtic Dragons in control early here over Clermont, who still have a man in the bin and still have troubles with their defence. Tuiava not having the greatest game so far. Forward side at fullback. That is a monster of a tackle there. Now waiting for it to come back is Minute Jones. Here is Rogers, offloads nicely to Daniel.
Release.
Buzz kick to Daniel. Sets it up for Silver. He loves to run this Payment Silver, but he's in a spot of bother here. Needs some support. It comes eventually in the purple jumpers of the Dragons. Here's Rogers offloading into the backs. It goes Silver again involved and running away free. It's a brilliant one from Regan Hall. Turns it back inside. The offloads are brilliant from the Dragons at the moment. They find the room out wide. Will Rogers goes one more. Big chance for McGregor. Takes out Tuiava, who stays on his feet for a long period of defence there. Making sure he didn't overcommit. Caleb Cook, a little short side play, looks for the offload. Finley Moriarty was lurking. Now they open it up. Rogers, beautiful pass, and straight to the middle goes Matt Jones. Oh, he's cut off.
Release.
He had 6 or 7 to his left. Quick ball is required. A little grubber kick through. Offside, it goes dead and goal. It is an absolute travesty from Payman Silver. He had drawn the penalty. And he still put the little grubber through. No one was going to get it there. The referee calls advantage over. And they don't get the reward for that brilliant play there, the Dragons. Tuiava gets us back underway from the 22. And a huge pass to Daniel. And they fire it out from left to right very quickly. Here's Silver back inside. Oh, Jenkins. He's done it brilliantly. And Steve Tickles to the corner. Oh, wow. Big tackle. Huge tackle from Tuiava. And he just steamrolls Tickles over the sideline. Wow, that was defense of the highest quality from our side, Tuiava. Absolutely demolishing Tickles over the sideline. They go again to the Dragons. Will Rogers tries to take on the defense of Celtic. Tamani, who rolls him over. Big turnover now for the Clermont side. Here's Pinot stepping. A little kick into the corner. It's a chase for Silver. This is perfectly weighted. Oh, you couldn't do it better. Try! Oh, Streetel scores! David Streetel has scored try of the series. Nothing on. Damien Pinot has kicked to the corner with the most perfectly weighted kick you could ever dream of off the left boot. It went end on end. Streetel was flying. Oh, and held up right in the corner. He puts it on the chalk. And it's a sensational try for Clermont. This was magic. Absolutely magic. Payment Silver, well, he dallied too long. He should have just flattened that ball in the end goal, kicked it, anything. David Streetel did brilliantly to keep up with that, chased the kick to the bitter end and planted on the line. Loose ball in the corner. What a try for Clermont. Man down as well, remember, as here is a conversion from Lopez is away. Unsuccessful. And the score remains with a 9-point difference. It's 14-5 at half time. But boy, Clermont have really upped a gear now. With a man in the bin, they've managed to score a try and bring them right back in this game. But look at these stats. They've had no ball, they've had no field territory, but they still managed to make a couple of decent line breaks. Damien Pinot, he is the man we always talk about. But look at the tackle count. 9 by the Dragons, 27 by Clermont. That is 3 times the tackles. They've been made to work hard in defence, but still to come away with this in this game with points on the board and able to attack. It's got to be a good spot here for the visiting team. Tuiava gets his back underway and they are resumed back to 15 men as McGregor takes it down to Will Rogers. Somehow offloads to Samiu and now they've got it rumbling. Steve Tickles on the left-hand wing. He's got to get past Tuiava, can't do it. Cover defence is too good there from Clermont, but they made it good easy 40 metres. Jenkins picks and goes. Jenkins still going. Throws it infield to Cook. And Clermont have plenty of support there in the ruck, and they really do. Rumble over the top. Numbers there. Big turnover. Here's Tamani taken in a big man and all tackle. Lee goes short. Lopez. He needed to offload that. He really needed to find that man on his shoulder. Here's Lee again. Keeps in the forwards. Nice little runner away from Basiliato. And he gets them up towards halfway. Streetel now waiting at scrum half, looking for another one of those brilliant tries. Would really start to rock the boat. Another run from Seleki Tamani. Nowhere this time. Here's Kasang. He turns it back inside. Yato again. Keeping the ball alive. Really, oh, it's knocked on this time. Just when it looked like they're starting to find some inroads there. Clermont. They've dropped the ball. Camilo Lopez with the error. Craig Anderson, he waits for it at the back. He's found it to Jenkins and he's offload nicely to Caleb Cook, who is through again. Advantage is over, but it'll be a clean run home. Down the left side, Will Rogers will score again. Brilliant try from Rogers. A great take in the corner. Asai Tuiava was flying in, but somehow he held his ground, Will Rogers, and plants the ball down. No chance of a replay of that Steve Tickog's tackle, but Caleb Cook take a bow. That was a brilliant pass from the big second rower. Look at Tuiava. He is playing a fantastic defensive game and was only a metre or so away from putting the fly half into touch. Will Rogers really tested for pace here, had to put the fan down because Tuiava would have bulldozed him over the sideline probably before the try line if he had not got a good push on that fan to start with. Great try from Rogers, but how about Tuiava's defensive efforts? They have been sublime. to convert his own try from the sidelines. He does exactly that, Will Rogers. Great try, great conversion. And that lead is now reinstated out to 16 points. And that little fear that Clermont were going to storm back into this game has been, well, for now, squashed. Here he is, Tuiava. Boy, he's been in everything tonight for Clermont. It's a good take from Daniel Samir. Numbers for McGregor. He finds Andrew, goes back to Jenkins. And a little kick this time from Silver. In a little bit of trouble there it was, the scrum half. He got the kick away and Streeter's back there, turning, kicking straight away. Defence was on him like a flash as the Dragons look to run it back. Silver finding room for McGregor. Oh, brilliant to Craig Anderson. Through the guts goes to number 8. Support there from Daniel. And away will go Regan Hall. Oh, that is outstanding. Regan Hall scores and the Dragons line it up here in round 11. 26-5, kick to come. Regan Hall with the try that every man with the number 1 on his back would love to score. Brilliant work from Craig Anderson. And the offload from Bosco Daniel was sensational as 8 finds 2 and then 1. The big boys all getting involved as well. Oh, this was beautiful to watch. Craig Anderson did fantastically and Daniel with the offload. And then it was the 2 props who face each other. 1v3, Hall versus Slimani. And that was a foot race that, well, not many people apart from purists would probably like to watch again. But how about the runaway from Regan Hall? Another try. And the 4th as well, which gives the Dragons the bonus point. And the conversion to boot is well and truly over the uprights. That is a great kick again. 28-0, a flawless night from Will Rogers. And with that Hall try, it puts it surely beyond doubt with 20 minutes to play. Effectively, Clermont still need to score 4 tries after missing that conversion from their opener. But they do get the game back underway, and again it's Hall heavily involved in the action. Look at these passes coming in at the moment from the Dragons. Will Rogers has had the ball on a thread. Daniel, back they go to Jenkins, and eventually it's McGregor that takes it down, and now we've got a turnover. There we go from Lopez. Kassan goes back inside and away, goes for Hamahina. Beautiful pass, and here he is, Slimani. One of his own, no, he's gone out wide, and it's a chance for Pinot. Back infield it goes, and they eventually break it down, lose the ball, and Payman Silver kicks it away. Big chance there for Clermont. They just could not finish the job. They go again though, and it's another chance. Kankule eventually finding Slimani. 10-metre line, Clermont 40 metres back the other way. Here's Slimani finding it to Tuiava, and a big chance now for Wesley Fofana. Oh, the dummy, and away he goes. Wesley Fofana the try, and Clermont get a little bit more to celebrate. Well, they've looked much more likely in the last 10 minutes or so. They should have scored just before when they were a metre short. Some great play down the right-hand edge. Now they turn it back, and you've got to look at Ophir Minute-Jones and say, probably, buddy, you should have done a bit better with that one. But a dummy from a magician. That is Wesley Fofana. He's hard to stop at the best of times, but a little bit of flair, a little bit of magic from the Frenchman. And a great try as well from Wesley Fofana. We talk about this midfield combination really dragging Clermont through a tough period. Damien Pinot, Wesley Fofana, they are 2 fantastic players who can individually take a game away from a team. Tonight has not been their night as we near the final 10 minutes. Clermont still have a huge mountain to try to climb, but it is a successful kick from Kimena Lopez, who puts them up to now 12 points on the board. They trail by again 16 points as we now enter that final 10-minute period. There's a good takedown here from John Ulagia. As they look to the short side, here he is again, Ali Raka looking to go past Scott Andrew. Can't get away with that first tackle. Tried the magic. Here's Slimani. Going short and straight at the bench line was Fofana, finding Ulagia for another rumble, the hooker. In the last few minutes here, it's been all Clermont. Here's Fofana, dropping it off short nicely, finding Yato. Another dangerous run of the Fijian, Pasini Yato. Now left hand again, it's not a chance for Ali Raka. Can he beat the attempted tackle? No chance at all. Minute Jones equal to the task yet again as Zaliraka can't find a way through. Three-man lineup set here for the Dragons. Just a one jumper, Cook versus Tamani. Oh, stolen. Saliki Tamani says thank you very much. And here comes Clermont yet again. Quickly wide for Streetle. Getting it outside. They go all the way to the touchline. Isolated. Turnover. Big play, Dragons. Wow, that was a little too obvious. Straight through the back line. Straight to David Streetle. And he had, well, no chance with the defence perfectly shifted out to his wing. He was isolated. He was unsupported. Those are the same things. But there was no chance he was going to retain that possession. Half a minute to play. Win this line out. Kick it into touch, Dragons, and you've done the job. They do exactly that. And Rogers goes back to Callum Ewing, who thunders us into touch and signals the end to this round 11 clash. The Celtic Dragons far too good tonight here against Clermont. It was a tough opening half. Both sides gave it all. There was moments of magic. But ultimately, it was the Dragons who had much more up their sleeve here as the fourth place side laid waste in the second to the 10th place Clermont. 28 points to 12, 4 tries to 2. That's a bonus point. Regan Hall with 1. Daniel Jenkins, Will Rogers and Scott Andrew all picking up 1 try apiece. It was Rogers with 4 out of 4 from the tee. We see Fofana and David Streetle 1 apiece for Clermont, and Lopez 1 out of 2 from his conversion attempts. Into the stats, it was one-sided at halftime, and it continued on that way pretty much throughout. Clermont clawed their way back up to pretty much a 60-40 possession in territory, but overall they made a lot of defensive work in that game. The yellow card really didn't help, and maybe if they hadn't conceded that, they could have been in for a chance. But tonight was not to be their night. And it continues on, a season of disappointment for Clermont. 10 games now they've played. You see them in 10th position. 3 wins and 7 losses now on their tally. So it's not been one to remember for the French side. They have 14 points, and, you know, they could really battle with Glasgow, try even inside that top 10, make something of this season, but it will be the other end of the table we look at. Pacific, Toa, Cornflakers, they are tied up on 39. The Celtic Dragons start to enter that race now. They have, of course, the game in hand over the Toa, and potentially they could overtake them when they do have that bye. If they can keep pace, just 3 points behind, they are looking like now a contender to get inside those top 3 places. Still to play, the Guardians of the Crib and the All Flakes as they continue on their journey to try and make that top 4 as well. Both those sides badly and desperately need wins in their next matches, which we can see are right here. The All Flakes are next in action. They take on the Glasgow Warriors. The Exeter Chiefs take on Saracens in the other match, and then we have the Guardians of the Crib rounding out round 11 against the Jaguares. Oh, that is a toughie is for sure. You can see in the last screen there, the Jaguares top of the table, and well, they are undefeated so far as well. They are really the team to beat this season. Can the Guardians do what the Flakers and the Toa have so far failed to do this season? We will find out, not next episode, but the one after that. But that is pretty much the end of round 11. They are halfway through now with a couple of big matches and wins for the Flakers and the Dragons. And exactly what we have to look forward to next episode will be the All Flakes. They are at home against the Glasgow Warriors, and like we said just before, desperately needing a win to keep their season. Well, this season is alive. They'll make the playoffs, but to keep their season with a chance of making a better positional finish and try and get some games at home. Like I said at the start of the episode, home ground advantage will be massive when it comes to the playoffs. And of course, it is the top 6 with 1 and 2 getting the bye week of the first week of the playoffs, and it is, of course, 3rd through to 6th that play off for a chance to play in the semi-finals. So it is all wide open when we get to that point, which is still another couple of rounds away, but the action surely is heating up now as we are tight and close inside those top 6 places. That is me for today's episode, though. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the series so far. We will be trucking on through the subscriber series here on Rugby Challenge 3. Of course, we can't mod Rugby Challenge 4 yet, so there will be no chance of it going there at any stage soon. But as always, thanks for tuning into this series, and I hope you're enjoying the games of the GRC. I'll see you all next time for the All Flakes versus the Glasgow Warriors. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.